Did you know that if you are more lethargic and sedentary, your body actually starts to decompose and prepare itself for death? For me, the word death is kind of shocking. And honestly, I thought that sitting was probably one of the safest things I could do. But studies show that sitting for more than 8 hours a day can lead to numerous health problems. And research is indicating that it is just as deadly as smoking and obesity. The reason is that humans are built to stand. And if you sit too much, your body actually starts to break down. This is why people need to stand more and sit less. Today we'll be discussing the health concerns involved with sitting too much, why it is more dangerous than obesity, the advantages of standing more, and what we can do to change this. At first, when researching, it's only health concerned for people that are sitting for more than 8 hours a day. But when I started to add up the hours I sit, I realized that amounts to a lot more than people think. For example, I drive for about an hour a day, which involves driving to and from work and dropping my kids off. I sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. During lunchtime, I either am driving for an hour or I'm sitting behind my desk on my cell phone. And then once I'm home, I'm trying to sit in front of the TV as much as possible. This accounts for 11 hours total. And I think that people on average probably sit for at least 8 hours a day, especially if your job is not one that involves activities. Let's begin with the health concerns associated with sitting too much. The first is metabolic syndrome. This is a group of health conditions that can cause heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. The health conditions associated with metabolic syndrome are high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat, and abnormal cholesterol levels. Excessive amounts of sitting also relax your largest muscles, which in turn use very little glucose from the bloodstream and increase your chances for type 2 diabetes. In addition, you have an increased risk for cardiovascular disease and cancer. Studies are suggesting that you have an increased chance of uterine, lung, and colon cancer if you sit too much. There is also an increased chance for depression and anxiety. Studies are showing that being sedentary is becoming more dangerous than obesity. The University of Cambridge followed 334,000 people for over 12 years. They found that more deaths would have been prevented by not being sedentary than not being overweight. Sitting for long periods of time means that you're weakening your larger leg muscles, which in turn means that they're wasting away. These large leg muscles are needed for walking and maintaining stability. If they're weak, you have an increased chance of injury, but also for falling. There are many advantages to sitting. First off, being physically active means that you have improved energy levels and endurance. Standing also helps your heart and cardiovascular system because they are able to work more effectively. Your bowels are also able to function properly, which decrease your chance of colon cancer. And following, your bones are able to maintain stability as you grow older. Let's now discuss what we can do to prevent this from happening. First off, I would like each of you to start standing for 5 to 10 minutes on an hourly basis. You can also set a timer on your watch so that way you know when you've been sitting for an hour and then you can stand for 5 to 10 minutes. I also suggest getting a standing desk at work if you are in a position where you sit for long periods of time. Another option is to stand when you're watching TV or talking on the phone. In conclusion, we need to stand more and sit less. To review, sitting causes a lot of health problems. These health concerns are in turn making it more dangerous than obesity. There are many advantages to standing. And also we need to stand for 5 to 10 minutes every hour. After being educated about health concerns, I feel like standing for 5 to 10 minutes is very doable, especially when you consider that if you could stand for 5 minutes, you can reduce your risk of becoming overweight or developing diabetes, cancer, or cardiovascular problems. This to me seems like an easy fix for something that's becoming a much bigger epidemic, especially as technology is making our lives easier and easier. Thank you.